Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson, and I'm tracking this real extreme cold that we're getting across Hampton Roads and northeastern North Carolina. Right now, this is a look from your Thompson Creek Window Company's sky view, and I do not want this kind of imagery to fool you in any way because I am tracking some of the coldest air here at Hampton Roads that we've seen for, the past week or two. It's been consistent. Every single weekend we've been dealing with some type of winter impact, whether that's winter weather and precipitation to bitterly cold temperatures. And so this weekend, while we aren't tracking any chances for any more snowflakes, no chances for any of that wet weather, I am tracking some brutally cold temperatures that will linger into tonight and through tomorrow morning. So brace for yet another cold weekend. I can tell you from just my friends texting me that they are like, Taylor, what is going on outside? It is so cold, and it will be that way for the rest of your day. So let's get into your Saturday. Here's a live look from your Thompson Creek Window Company sky view again, looking over downtown Norfolk. And you can see that it's mostly sunny, just only a couple of clouds in the sky. The rest of the sky blue, bright, but the sun rays are not breaking through that cold at the surface. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 20s to the middle 30s. That's as best as we'll do today. We actually already hit our high temperatures earlier this morning. So expect temperatures to actually fall just slightly as you get into the day today. So it feels like the teens, but temperatures are in the 20s. The teens and the feels like temperatures are going to be in this light blue color here. And so right now in Norfolk is 29 degrees and it feels like 17. In Virginia Beach, 29, but feeling like 13, and that's because we probably have higher winds in that area. Right now in Hampton, 28 degrees, feeling more like 12 degrees. In Newport News, 27, feeling like 13. In Suffolk, feeling like right near freezing, but feeling more like 12, 13 degrees below freezing. And then you get into Elizabeth City and Manio, mid-30s, but feeling more like the upper teens and lower 20s. Now let's talk about what I'm seeing here. Here is our cold front. This is the cold front ushering in the Arctic air. And you can see all the way up here is where this low pressure system is. And I can even take this back. Let's go back about 24 hours ago. Okay, so here's where the low pressure system started, if it will actually go ahead and do it. Okay. I'm trying to see if it's going to go all the way back 24 hours. It's not. So let's go back to the past 12. So you can see the low pressure system track through Toronto and then now through the northeast. We call this a clipper system because it kind of clips us with the cold front, and it's pretty quickly moving. And originally, the full name is now Alberta Clipper System, meaning that it usually has a low pressure system centered around portions of Canada, but you can see that it brought just a few snowflakes for us here in Hampton Roads. We got this quick dusting of snow around the peninsulas before it fizzled out, but the cold front now draped through the majority of Hampton Roads and just about to enter into Elizabeth City as we speak, and so winds will start to get gusty behind that. So let's go ahead and check on the current wind gusts here in the area. First we'll talk sustained winds, then we'll talk wind gusts. So right now here's a look at the area, and these are just sustained winds. So right now we're seeing sustained winds, Chesapeake up to 25 miles per hour, in Newport News 30 miles per hour, Manio 25 miles per hour, Wallops Island 24, and Ahoskie 13. So anywhere from about 10 to 30 mile per hour for sustained winds. As you can see, closer to the water, it's going to be windier. Virginia Beach 30 mile per hour wind gusts, Hampton 32. And I even want to go back just a little bit so we can see Norfolk's. You can see how Norfolk is at 17 mile per hour for the sustained winds. Virginia Beach sustained winds 30 to 35. That is why, even though the temperature for Norfolk and Virginia Beach right now, the air temperatures are pretty relatively the same, upper 20s, it feels much colder in Virginia Beach because you do have that additional wind on there. So that's just the sustained winds. Let's talk about the wind gusts that we're seeing now. And here's a look at wind gusts. And right now, peak gusts already today in Virginia Beach, 53 miles per hour. Gusts around the rest of the south side, 25 to 45. Eastern Shore, wind gusts 45 to 55. So in Elizabeth City, even calculating a 52 mile per hour wind gust over the past hour or so. So definitely a very breezy day. I've noticed it. A lot of people have noticed it, and that is why we do have these wind alerts in place for today. They went into effect at 8 a.m. and they'll be pulled back by about 9 o'clock tonight. So this is an all-day deal. We have wind advisory in the tan color. That's for the northern neck, middle peninsula, most of the south side, and northeastern North Carolina. You head into the purple colors, that's a high wind warning for the Eastern Shore, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, and that's about it. So those are the only 4 areas where I'm watching for wind gusts as high as about 60 miles per hour. And we've already seen that verify this morning, and the windiest conditions are not even here yet. It will get windier as we head throughout the day, and I'll show you that in a bit. But we are talking very high wind gusts today, and that is why we have issued our weather impact alert, because the high wind gusts paired with the bitterly cold air will lead to extreme cold that will be a disruption to life. So the weather impact alert is in effect for today and tomorrow, February 7th and February 8th, but today is all day. As we get into tomorrow, that's just the morning time. So this is not going to be something where we're watching for this to last all weekend or even through the early parts of the work week. This is going to be for the next basically less than 24 hours. Main impacts, wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour, and then single-digit wind chills are likely, especially tonight into tomorrow morning, where some places could dip below 0 tomorrow. So we have a cold weather advisory today, an extreme cold warning tomorrow. What you need to do is bundle up, make sure that you are wearing multiple layers. You have the hat, the gloves. Ooh, when I tell you, you need those gloves. I popped outside for a moment earlier this morning, and my hands automatically got cold. It is a day where you need the gloves, the hat, the scarves, and again, multiple layers protect your extremities. So here's what we know for the latest on the brutally cold weekend. This Clipper system I showed you, the low pressure system and cold front, that now the cold front is about to push through northeastern North Carolina, is bringing very cold air this weekend. The wind's picking up today, and it'll pick up through the afternoon, and then it will feel more like the single digits and sometimes below 0 throughout the day today, and especially tonight. So let's walk through the rest of your day so you know how to prepare as this Futurecast loads. Here we go. So we have this look at the Futurecast, and it's showing temperatures in the upper 20s and lower 30s now, as we've already seen. But the wind gusts pick up to around, this is area-wide, around 35 to 40 miles per hour. That's through noon. And then you can see the wind gusts still as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour through the afternoon, and temperatures not moving, at best in the upper 20s, lower 30s. We continue through the night. We stay dry. So again, no concerns about any type of rain or snow or sleet or freezing rain. This is just going to be a windy and cold day. By 7 p.m., temperatures are still in the middle to upper 20s, maybe some lower 30s, still hanging on close to the Albemarle. And then we get to tonight, and teens arrive. So when you pair the teens tonight with the wind gusts still up to about 35 miles per hour, that is where you get those feels like temperatures in the single digits or lower. So, and I'm going to edit this graphic too so I can show you all of the warnings here across the Commonwealth. This is just showing the cold weather advisory. I want to add on the extreme cold warning. So we are going to do this. Let's see if it will do it. If not, I can show you another graphic, because this will take it off. So let's see. So this is just for the cold weather advisory, and we'll see wind chills anywhere from -4 or 4 below zero to up to 10 degrees above zero in these areas. Now, I'm going to pull this graphic up here because our system right now is not letting me show you the extreme cold warning, specifically because the extreme cold warning is actually in effect for the Eastern Shore while everybody else is underneath a cold weather advisory. So let's see. Go back one. Okay, so here we go. This area right here, while you're not underneath a cold weather advisory, you're underneath an extreme cold warning, which is worse than this. So we're talking wind chills near zero through most of the day today, if not below. And again, it's because we have these elevated wind gusts. And I'm going to go ahead and change this to so here you go, through Saturday and into the afternoon, you can see how wind gusts pick up to about, these are just gusts, okay, up to about 20, no more 25 mile per hour gusts, but maybe 45 to 55 mile per hour gusts by 4 to 4:30 to 5:30, and then we get into the afternoon and evening, and you can see the wind gusts start to slowly taper off through the night. This is around 1 a.m. tomorrow. Still, though, gusty for the nighttime, wind gusts up to about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And then early on Sunday morning, you can see it's still breezy at times through about this time tomorrow, with wind gusts elevated up to about 25 to 35 miles per hour around the coast, 15 to 25 inland. So it will be a very windy weekend for us. But let's combine the winds with the air temperature, and that will give you what you need to know about the wind chills. And during a time like this, when it comes to our forecast for a cold weekend like this, a lot of times I don't really try to focus too much on the actual air temperature. I focus on the wind chill because that is how it will feel to your skin. It doesn't matter if it's 29 or 30 degrees outside. If it feels like 8, you're going to feel like it's 8 degrees outside, regardless of what the thermometer says on our measurements. So here's a look. This was this morning, feeling more like the teens. But you can see how we progress through the day, and it doesn't get much better. Still feeling like the teens as we head to the next hour or two, but feeling more like 2 and 3 degrees around the Eastern Shore. Peninsulas will have it the coldest for this stretch of weather for today and tomorrow. So if you live on the peninsulas, you really need to heed my warning. Make sure you're wearing multiple layers, because getting frostbite or experiencing hypothermia are real possibilities if you do not properly dress for being outside. Okay, so that's through noon. We take it through to this evening, and you can see how wind chills really start to dip down around the Eastern Shore. Wind chills, or the feels like, or the real feel, whatever you want to say about this, the wind chills, or whatever you want to call them. 0 degrees near Melfa, Chincoteague, feeling more like 3 below zero. Around the peninsulas, 2 to 8 degrees respectively, mostly. South side, eastern south side, feeling the coldest, 7 to 8 degrees by 8 p.m. Inland, upper single digits to low teens, and that continues through northeastern North Carolina. This is what I really want to show you, how it's going to feel tomorrow morning if you are going to join me on daybreak. This is around 7 a.m. And you can see that it feels like 1 below zero in Norfolk, feeling like 7 below in Chincoteague, feeling like 1 degree in Wakefield. You kind of have to head to like I-95 to really get those temperatures feeling like the teens by tomorrow morning. This is brutally cold. So this is your heads up for tonight. making sure that you are checking on vulnerable people. And we do have a list of some of those warming centers on our website. We've talked about warming centers throughout the week. So if you need some reference, you can always find that online. If you have pets, make sure that they are indoors, and it's the best weekend to, spend some time with your pets indoors because they feel the cold as well. It will be bitterly cold. I mean, feeling like zero, doesn't matter if you're a human or an animal, you are going to feel that temperature drop. Number 3, protecting your plants. If you have potted plants that are fragile, that you keep outside, but may not be able to withstand the cold and the wind, you need to bring them indoors as soon as possible. Number 4, you may have some older pipes. You may want to leave a little bit of a drip because it is going to be very cold outside. But otherwise, most of the more modern pipes should be okay in this situation. This is going to, again, be a bitterly cold weekend. I keep saying it. I know it can be annoying that I'm saying it so many times. And you're like, okay, Taylor, try to switch up what you're saying. But I'm trying to drill into y'all's heads that this is a weekend where I want you to take cold weather as seriously as you take severe weather. Because it is going to be that cold. Again, I've already told you that I've had friends already text me saying, oh my gosh, it's cold. It's so cold. And that was just this morning. We haven't even hit the coldest part of this stretch yet, which is going to be tonight into tomorrow morning. And especially with Sundays, a lot of people like to go to brunch. People go and they worship. They go to worship services or run errands. Sunday is kind of that reset day, right? And that relaxed day where people want to be outside and have things to do outside or have to be outside at a certain point in the day. So make sure that you are bundled up. And I'll even give you a look, and I can extend this out to show you what it looks like for tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to stretch this out to 5 p.m. tomorrow, and I'm going to change this to the current time. So you can see that I already showed you all of this through the day today. And I'll even just go back just a little bit. Around 2 to 3 p.m., you can see it feels like the teens, and then it just drops through the night, feeling more like 0 or below 0 early tomorrow morning. And then we get into the day tomorrow, and it's still a very cold day. Feels like temperatures in the teens, low 20s, and some single digits still hanging on for the eastern shore, and that takes us to around 5 p.m. So very, very cold across the area. So again, a weather impact alert is in effect for today and then through Sunday morning for the brutal cold temperatures we have across the area. And that will only be really from now through Sunday. On Monday, while it will be cold, it won't be brutally cold as those winds really start to die down on Sunday night. But after that, we have a huge rise from the mid-30s on Monday to the mid-50s on Tuesday. So easily a 15-degree temperature swing in a nice positive direction. But our next system will come through late week that will bring us some scattered showers Wednesday night, continuing through Thursday, Friday, and even into Valentine's weekend. So something to keep an eye out for if you are thinking about heading out for Valentine's weekend and celebrating with your loved ones as we continue to get closer to that holiday. But again, brutally cold this weekend. Wear multiple layers, protect yourselves, protect your loved ones, protect your pets, protect your plants and your pipes. For now, meteorologist Taylor Stephenson and meteorologist Hunter Force will be in here later on today to give you an update about this dangerously cold weekend and what to expect over the next 7 days. Stay warm, and I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. on the weekend edition of Daybreak.